This is the 2026 Toyota Sequoia 1794, and it is a full-size SUV that you shouldn't overlook. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We borrowed this Sequoia from our friends at Yoakum Toyota today. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. When you look at the front end, number one, you know it's a Toyota, but it has such an aggressive look to it, and something that I really like here. While you have your full LED lighting, your LED headlights, it's going to be your low and your high beams, the LED daytime running lights, everything is going to be LED here, but I really like the uniqueness of these fog lights, something most people might not pay much attention to, but normally they would be in this area, they're going to be round or something along those lines. This just has a little bit more of a unique look to it. I like that. And we're going to find a forward-facing camera, the front camera, that's going to be located right here. That means you're going to also have cameras literally all around. Everything is here, cameras literally everywhere. And we're going to have our sensors. All of that's going to be here. Toyota Safety Sense going to help you out on the road. Now, let's work our way around as we look at the tire and wheel setup here. These are 20-inch wheels. Now, one thing you'll notice is that we have the iForce Max engine under the hood. This is a hybrid powertrain. Something that you won't often see with a hybrid is something you have here, and that is the presence of a spare tire. So you not only have these 20-inch wheels here that look real nice, but if you need to change a tire out, you've got that spare tire located underneath the rear of the Sequoia that gives you that added peace of mind. Chrome mirror caps. What do you think about that? Some people tell me chrome is outdated. Some people tell me it isn't. What do you think? Turn signal indicators built in. We do have the gloss black finish underneath and the surround on the mirror. They're heated, they're power folding, they're power adjustable. In fact, I'll show you real quick that they are power folding. We're gonna make that happen for you real fast. And you can also see right here that we have the power assist steps. When you open the doors, those are gonna pop right out. And there's a little bit of a delay, which is nice in case somebody runs up to the vehicle real quick and they hadn't gone back under yet, open the door, they can still get in. There's your 1794 logo. The 1794 edition logo is going to be there. Chrome door handles. And something that's nice is that you have a key within your key fob where you can actually come here if the key fob battery dies or something like that happens where you can't unlock the doors with the remote. Well, you can still get in. That's nice to have. Large windows, very easy to see out of. I like that. We're also going to have our roof rails up top with the crossbars already installed. It's going to give you that extra cargo space as if there isn't already enough here as it is. We'll work our way around here to the back. We're going to have the turn signals are on, the blinkers are on, and I like the way this looks. Now, sometimes I tell you that animated effect that you see is not really happening. It's just through the lens of my GoPro. I hope that shows up as it really is. It's really animated as it blinks. Just kind of a nice little look. Now, I would love to see the rear window wiper hidden away within the rear roof spoiler. There's not really room up there, but it just gives it a nice clean look back here, but not a big deal overall. There's your Toyota Crown logo, a little more chrome. The Sequoia logo is here, and another iForce Max badge right here. Kind of hard to see where that is. Under the hood is going to be the turbocharged V6. And you might think V6, not a lot of power and torque, right? 437 horsepower and 583 pounds-feet of torque, mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, being that this is a hybrid powertrain, let's go over here to the window sticker and I'll show you what we have as far as the MPGs go, and you can tell me if they are good or bad in your opinion. 19 city, 22 highway, 20 combined, and 5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. To gain access to your 22.5-gallon gas tank, well, you're gonna have to go to the driver's seat to do that. There's a button right in here. Here it is right here. We're gonna push that button and that will allow us to open the gas door. There we go, it popped open. A little bit of a delay there. I'm gonna show you what you have there because you do not have capless fuel fill. Now, on a full tank of gas in the city, you should be able to drive about 428 miles. Out on the highway, that number jumps to about 495 miles. If you need to do any towing and you're looking for a full-size SUV, here's a major reason to consider this Sequoia. It tows up to 9,010 pounds. That's pretty good. And a couple of different ways to open the power tailgate. In fact, you can use the remote, which I'll show you real fast right here. Gonna see that on there at the bottom. You have the panic button, lock and unlock, all of that's gonna be here. There's also a button right under here, or if you want to, you can just put your foot under the bumper right there, and that's gonna allow it to open up and gain access to a ton of cargo space. Let me give you those numbers as we show you around. 22.3 up to 49, up to a maximized 86.9 cubic feet of cargo space. The spare tire is located underneath the rear of the vehicle. And then we have quite a bit of storage space underneath the floor. You can have your first aid kit right there if you need that. And a couple of things to talk about over here on the right-hand side. Number one, you have a power outlet right there if you need to take advantage of that. And being that we're about to show you the interior, the second and third rows, here are the buttons to raise and lower the seats. So we're going to push that to bring those up. And I like that unlike the GMC Yukon, the Chevrolet Suburban, the Tahoes, even the Cadillac Escalade, even though I know that's not a competitor here, but you have to hold those buttons down to raise and lower these back seats. You can't just touch them like I did right there and have them go down. All right, let's talk about what your second row passengers will find. First of all, the privacy shades are going to be here. And now something I like is not only are they on the doors here, but as you'll see, they're also on the rear windows for your third row passengers. Plenty of room with the armrest. We'll show you over there on the passenger side how that looks. It's nice and large. It is comfortable, has a little bit of padding built into it. And then we have our upper, which is not very big, but it's nice to have that extra space, and lower door bins. Gonna have an area for a bottle or a cup to go down there if you want to put that down there. Pretty simple to deal with. I like the space. Now, to move these seats up and out of the way, there's a lever on the side right down here. See if we can show you how that looks down there. I'm gonna just do that and it pretty much gets up and out of the way. I like that. Now, one thing you will notice is that you can't move these center seats back and forth, but there's a reason for that. Now, I'm going to hop in. Being that this is a hybrid, the roof or the floor is a little bit high, so the roof line's a little bit closer, but that's just the way it is. But let me get this seat back up here. So if you need to move anything forward and back, see that? I can move the seats. That's what you're going to do with the lever right there. These seats both have one, and there's a button right here. I don't know how easily we can show that. There you go. That allows for reclining these seats. I like that because I can take a nap. There we go. Get nice and comfortable. Gives you a little bit more headroom that way. We'll bring that back up, get the headrest up and out of the way. We're going to have our roof mounted air conditioning vents, and there is that privacy shade I was telling you about for these rear windows. Something you don't see a lot, but at the price point of this Sequoia, well, you probably should have that. Now, what else do we have? We're going to have our bottle holders right there and tons of space back here for kids, that's for sure. My legs are a little higher than I'd like. The adults can sit back here. That's the good news. I don't know that I want to sit back here for a long drive, multiple hours around town or a little bit, 15, 20, 30 minutes, no problem. The kids will probably be a little more comfortable back here, but the good thing is the adults can fit if needed. And one more thing, in case you're in the third row and you don't want to go through the pass-through right here, there is a manual release if somebody forgets to let you out to get that seat back up and out of the way. One more thing I wanted to show you real quick. There's a button right here. It's going to be on each side. And what does that do? Well, that allows, if you need to, you can lower these seats back down, just like I did earlier. I noticed my hands aren't on anything. Once again, one touch down and one touch up. I really like that. As I mentioned, there are competitors where you have to hold that button down the whole time until the process is complete. Let's talk about what your second row passengers will find now as far as when they're sitting here. Number one, you've got the panoramic sunroof right here. The power shade right here can be drawn forward if you need to conceal that away, and the front portion will tilt and slide open. I'm going to have the cup holders right here and a little bit of storage space, actually quite a bit for whatever will fit down there, snacks and whatever anybody wants to put down there. And you talk about plenty of leg room. There is no shortage of space here. Leg space, head space. This is definitely very comfortable. Going to have the rear seat pockets on the back of each seat. a couple more cup holders here. We'll also have air conditioning vents in addition to the roof-mounted air conditioning vents right here on the rear of the center console and the command center. For fan speed, temperature, you have your heated seats, 3 stages, ventilated seats, 3 stages. We'll also have our USB connectivity and a power outlet. So a lot going on back here as far as the second row. And we'll reach down here and start everything up and let you see the animated graphics that come up on the driver's display. The sticker price is $87,150. Let's see what else you get for that price. Over here on the driver's side door, here's the button I used. Push that back just like that. That's how those mirrors fold in. And obviously you can control everything for your side view mirror settings. And you can lock all of the windows if you want to right there. Lock and unlock buttons and everything for rolling your windows down and back up. And you can see some of the other controls that we have here. I'm not going to run through every single little detail. You also have a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, all controlled by the control right there, the switch right there. The driver's display is nice and modern looking. And when you look down here, there is your drive mode selector. So depending on what you're doing, make sure you have drive mode selected right there. Otherwise, it's going to do everything for your towing, which is right here. So we can see that. There you go. But we're going to go to our drive modes, and now I can go through the different driving modes. You can see Eco, Normal, and then Sport, just so you can see what's going on there and see the graphics that go on with that. All of your steering wheel mounted controls are here. Your front and rear window wipers controlled here. Your lights and fog lights, lights here, fog lights right here, and this is also your turn signal indicator control, the turn signal lever. If you know how to use your turn signal, that will be useful. Now we're going to hand the camera back here, and I'm going to show you a few more things that are going on. First of all, let's get this off the screen. We're going to set that up later. Maybe you can set that up when you come in and buy this Sequoia. Upper console is going to have your reading lights. All those map lights will be there. Everything is there as far as that goes. You can turn everything on and off. Control the power shade for your sunroof here. Here's how you open and close the sunroof. A nice handy dandy sunglass holder is going to be there. And then the button to start and stop the engine is right here. And our nice large center screen. You're going to have built-in navigation. I can't show that to you right now, but it does have built-in navigation. You can go everything with your radio, phone. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. If you want to know what's going on with your vehicle, you can have some different controls here. You'll have different controls that you come in and work with. Seat controls are going to be here. It does have the massage seats, by the way, here in the front seating area. So if you've had a good workout, a back workout, a leg workout, you can take advantage of those, or you're just wanting a massage. Trip information will be here. And that's going to give you a lot of good details depending on what you need. You've got current, you've got history, quite a bit here. If you want to clear everything, you can do that. And then we can go back here. You'll also have vehicle alert. But as you can see, there's no alert right now. When you go into settings, depending on what you need to do here, you can handle everything as far as if you want to manage your Bluetooth and devices. You're going to have general right there. Not a lot. If you need to reset the clock, you can do that. Date and time, keyboard, language and units. Depending on what you need to do, you can make changes there. Wi-Fi, display, sound and media. If you want to adjust that as far as your sound tuning goes, I know a lot of people like to do that when they buy their new vehicle. So there's all the adjustments you can make as far as your treble, your mid-range, and your bass. And then we'll go back here real quick. Going to run through all of this real fast here so we don't spend too much time on it. But a lot going on where that's concerned. And then when we go into reverse, we get our backup camera. There are quite a few cameras. You've got that overhead 360-degree view, but if you need to see a different view, there's the front view camera. I showed you that earlier in the video. Your side view mirror cameras are going to be here too. Go back to our view right there. And depending on how you want things to look, you can adjust your view accordingly. And we're going to have everything here for our air conditioning, dual zone climate control. Once again, we're going to have the heated seats, ventilated seats, and then you'll also have connectivity with a USB port right there. Now, one more thing I'm going to show you. You've got a few one-touch buttons down here, one of which being this one. You don't have to be in reverse to bring the cameras up, and here is a different view depending on what you need to see. So you can get this true surround view. You can look all around the vehicle, see what's going on. It's super helpful. I really like that. And that's not the only angle where you can see. So if you say, you know what, I want a different angle, you can do that. When you're ready to get out of that screen, we just hit that X right there. One thing we didn't talk about when we were talking about the upper console, in fact, two things. We can come back up to this area of the vehicle. You have your digital rear view mirror. You can use that as a conventional rear view mirror if you want to. And over here on the left-hand side is the factory dash cam. That is factory installed at the dealership for you. So you can have that if it's something you want. Nice to know that that's available. Then we'll also have our wireless charging down here. That's going to make things nice and simple. And your power parking brake is here. And you'll also have your brake hold right here. So if you want to turn that on or off, you can do that there. Trailer brake control is managed right here. And then when it comes to your shifter, if you want to manually go through the transmission, the 10-speed transmission, you can gear up or gear down with the shifter over there like that, or you can just leave it in drive. Just depends on what you want to do. This is a four-wheel drive vehicle. I didn't mention that earlier in the video, but you can see the control right here, depending on if you want to be in two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive high, four-wheel drive low. That's going to be how that works. Now we can conceal away our cup holders right here if we want to, but that's where they're located. And then we have our center console right here. And you actually have a couple of different things you can do here. We've got the little tray right here. We can move that out of the way. There's a little bit of space underneath that. Or we can open it all the way up. And there is, in this case, a nice safe built in. If you need that, you can put whatever valuables you want in there. And there still is a little bit of space over here and a couple of USB ports. All right, here we go on our test drive. And being that it's a full-size SUV, it definitely has a nice, comfortable ride quality. And when you need to get around the slower moving vehicle on the road, it's not hard to do. And I'm not really getting into the pedal very hard at all. But I am using my blinkers. I don't really use turn signal sarcasm, but I actually use my turn signals when I'm driving, for those who might want to know. Yeah, I need to slow down a little bit. That's one thing about driving a larger vehicle like this. If you're not so used to it, it doesn't give you the sensation of speed as something that's lower to the ground. The lower you are to the ground, the faster it seems you're moving. You get more of that sensation of speed in that case, but not so much with something that's large like this. Now, you will get a little bit of body roll going into the corners, but that's one reason why you have a nice, comfortable ride quality, because the suspension isn't real tight and meant for handling so much as it is for being able to give you that good ride quality. But obviously everything is also set up for dealing with a little bit of off-roading. It's not a super high-end off-road vehicle to compete with the Jeeps or anything like that, but it can definitely get the job done when you need to get off-road in, well, we'll say some maybe a little above mild situations. Now let's find out about our turning radius. See if we can avoid the curb right here, which we did. Now, step on it just a little bit. Does it sound like a motorcycle? If you can hear that sound, that's actually not the engine itself. That's actually a sound that's coming through the speakers. It sounds like it's something that it's not, but that's part of this being a hybrid vehicle. So in case you were curious about that, that is what that is. But a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. A lot of adjustability for the driver's seat. So the steering wheel and the driver's seat adjustable to the point that you can set everything up no matter your height, and you'll be very comfortable, able to see just fine. Easy to see out of, especially with that rear view camera mirror, the digital mirror. Now, one thing to note is that if you've looked at the GMC Yukons or the Chevrolet Suburbans or the Tahoes, and you've said, you know what, Tom, I like one of the features those models offer, which is that you can drive with the camera on the center screen if you need to. No, you can't do that here. As soon as you put it in drive and start to move, the cameras will go off. So just one of those things to note. A lot of people ask about that, and I'm always curious to know if you actually drive with that on. If you do, definitely you do not want to be focused on the center screen. At lower speeds you can get away with that, but I wouldn't do it when I was driving down the road like this. But overall, the Sequoia is definitely a very nice vehicle, plenty of room for the driver and passengers. You've got all of the different features and functionality here, great technology, and Overall, as far as a full-size SUV goes, I would say it is definitely something that you should consider if this is what you're in the market for. And there it is, the 2026 Toyota Sequoia 1794 edition, a full-size SUV that you shouldn't overlook. It offers a lot of great features and functionality. Four-wheel drive is going to help you out in your low traction situations. It's great with towing, hauling people, hauling cargo, whatever you need, it's going to take care of you. Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Yoakum Toyota for loaning us this Sequoia for the day so we could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Please subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you'd like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out one of the videos that's right over here, and I'll see you there.